What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Venus Day. I hope you love on yourself and somebody else. Hey, hey, hey. No, what's up, y'all? I'm just kidding, of course, as always, my goofy ass. I'm gonna try not to make this live too long, but I can't make no promises because I did go over every sign when I did my notes, and I'm gonna do that in this live as well as give you guys a reading. So I'm gonna jump straight into it. I've been told y'all that Venus is moving to Pisces, or has moved to Pisces. We talked about how it's gonna affect you in general just the other day. Now I'm gonna talk about how it's gonna affect you as it relates to your relationships, based on your zodiac sign, and then I'm going to give you guys a Venus and Pisces reading, collective reading at the end of this. So, first of all, for Pisces, this is really all about you learning to beautify and enjoy yourselves. You want to be gracious and compassionate in your approach to others, especially as it relates to your interpersonal relationships, obviously. Disarm your defenses and lead with love in all that you do. External appearance and physical attraction is going to be very important for you at this time. So please don't try to date nobody who you're not physically attracted to. I think it's just going to grow and blossom. It's not, okay? Divine timing is definitely in order. So if you get like an intuitive feeling that something just feels right and now is the time, especially when it comes to relationships, go ahead and lean into it. Definitely surrender, and trust that life gives you all that you need to be happy, Pisces. That's what you're going to want to do, and that's Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, okay? If you are a Virgo, you want to embrace harmony, balance, and partnership, because that's what's going to be highlighted for you while Venus is in Pisces. You definitely want to give extra attention and love to your interpersonal relationships, whether it be close friends or romantic relationships. There are new prospects that are likely to pop up. You might be feeling some hesitation or restriction as well. But I would say just let go of like any fearful or judgmental expectations that you have and just try to go a little bit more with the flow and be courageous. Know that everything that happens is always happening for your highest good. And sometimes you may have to take a little bit of an L, but if you would just stop overthinking it and replaying it over and over in your mind, you could see the lesson and clarity from it and then move right on like it never happened, and it will be fine, okay? Sagittarius, this is going to be a very homely type of transit for you. So really, you just want to get your house in order. And that may have something to do with relationships, and it may not. More than anything though, you want to redecorate, you want to organize, you want to cleanse, you really want to spend time with the people that you know, love, and appreciate you. Home is definitely where the heart is during this transit, so I would recommend doing some heart chakra work and healing, because I always tell you guys your heart is in your body, and if your heart feels balanced and fulfilled, then you can be more receptive to abundance. And I put do some heart chakra healing, and you'll find that you'll notice a better reflection in the external world around you. So same thing. I gotta stop saying so much, y'all. I'm trying. I'll just be trying to paraphrase my notes. There is going to be a sense of enhanced self-analysis for Sagittarius, and you want to be open to new knowledge. You want to be open to looking beneath the surface and focused on stillness and restoral, okay? Geminis, and you guys might be like, what kind of order is she doing this in? I'm doing it in the order of modality because that's how I wrote it in my notes, okay? So this is mutables, and then it's going to be cardinals, and then it's going to be fixed. Gemini, you guys are looking to gain a better understanding of your purpose overall, or your calling. There's going to be unexpected abundance and cash flow coming your way. You really need to ask yourself if you actually love what you do or feel inspired by what you do, because it really is having an effect on all of your interpersonal relationships, and that's going to be highlighted under this influence. You also need to be mindful to find a good balance between your work life and your relationships. Definitely welcome in new experience with structure, beauty, and commitment. Understand that even though you might be feeling like there's a little bit of a darkness under the surface, there is always light that comes after darkness, and it's the darkest before the light comes. So you can always find solace in that. Okay. Aries, you really need to clean out your closet, and like literally and metaphorically. You really need to just release the guilt, release the shame, release the feelings of imposter syndrome and the feelings of self-sabotage that you hide when no one is looking. You know, Aries energy comes off as like they have it all together, very confident, very abrasive. But sometimes you guys can be very fragile, and you'll notice that you start feeling a little bit more fragile under this transit and under this influence, especially when it comes to your relationships. You can now see what's working. Not what's working, but what's keeping you stuck in a loop, like in a karmic cycle, and actively embrace the idea of change and transformation, because it's kind of like you're clearing out that karmic debt. You really need to balance your temper when it comes to relationships and be a little bit more compassionate and patient. Definitely embrace intelligence and turn away from laziness. Okay, so be an active partner if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, then be actively looking for a partner if that's something that you want, or trying to connect with people versus just saying, I want this, I want this, I want that, and you're not doing anything, you know. Cancers, you really need to open your mind to new concepts and find new sources for inspiration. Like, you need a new muse that probably could come from some of your relationships if you surround yourself with the right people. But I would say if you don't have the ability to do that, definitely surround yourself with artistic expression. You also are going to find that you have a lot of reflections show about your shadows through your relationships. And you'll have to understand that the more that you're able to accept your shadows, the more they will lose their power over you, and the more that you will stray away from that sense of self-sabotage that you kind of go through in relationships, where it's like everything is fine, and then you go into victim mode because you've either given too much of yourself and become a martyr, or you've allowed things to happen that you really didn't agree with and you didn't say anything, and now there's like a blow up. Okay. It's like, you know better, you've learned the lesson, so do better. Basically, it's a test. Libras, you guys need to find the joy and magic in practicality. Definitely celebrate your small wins, lean into your routines when it comes to love. Be open to physical changes and be willing to be of service. I would say embrace like acts of service. If you can give yourself a challenge, if you're in a relationship, like, okay, once a week I'm going to do a nice act of service for my partner. I think that would be very beneficial for you as we move through this energy, and also being receptive to people doing things for you, because you want to balance out your scales, and you know, as much as you give, you definitely want to be receiving. Being the change that you want to see and taking concrete action is going to be very important for Libras under this influence, especially as it relates to your relationships. Capricorn, you guys are going to be charming, persuasive, and talkative. While Venus is in Pisces, you definitely are going to be seductive, but you're going to be looking for more of an intellectual intimacy versus the physical aspects of intimacy. So make sure that you create an active avenue for that to be able to flow through. You also want to make concrete decisions in love and not be going back and forth, so that you can find peace within your heart. Taurus, you guys need to socialize, network, and connect overall. There's definitely additional praise, additional money, additional things that will be given to you under this influence that normally are not. You need to seek out challenging situations as it relates to love and interpersonal relationships, because they are only going to promote confidence, growth, and independence for you, and allow you to really lean into your strength. So yeah, that's Taurus. Leos, you guys need to Embrace more affection, support, and assistance as we move through this transit. There's going to be a deepening of intimacy within your close personal relationships. You definitely need to make sure that you are journaling and writing down your wishes and dreams as it relates to your relationships. Trust your perception and intuition. When you start to feel like something is off, the more you put love into yourself and the more that you stand on your boundaries, the more that you will find that that energy is reflected back to you. Aquarius, there's going to be a lot of beauty that you're experiencing, especially in your home. You need to be mindful of overspending on dates and outings with your partner. Definitely embrace a sense of femininity. Reevaluate your feminine values and what femininity means to you, as well as the way that your display of femininity affects the world around you. That is going to be important for Aquarius in relationships. Scorpio, you guys need to focus on having fun. I gotta stop saying so much. I'm gonna work on it, y'all. I really am working on it. I'm trying to pause before I say it. Scorpio, you need to focus on getting back to business, but also embracing fun within yourself. There's like this need for self-expression and creativity and personal growth. So you're really not focused too much on relationships. It's more sensuality and it's more so sensuality and physical pleasures that you're going to be looking forward to. So you will want to kind of detach and lean into the physical aspects a little bit more so than the depth that you are constantly searching for. There's also going to be a lot of new beginnings, a lot of feelings of independence and confidence under this influence for Scorpio. You'll want to definitely welcome some new beauty into your life for sure. I believe that is it. I think I've gone through all of the signs. So I'm going to go ahead and do, we're making great timing, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do this tarot spread. And hopefully I can wrap this up in 30 minutes. I wasn't going to do a meditation for y'all, but to be honest, I just don't feel like it. I don't. I have a headache and I just don't feel like it. I probably should because it might help my headache go away, but y'all will get a meditation on Sunday when I come and do the astrology for the week. And if y'all go to the Moonchild Tribe playlist, there are meditations there for you to do if you just want a meditation. Okay. Y'all, I have no idea what this music is. I've just been trying to find copyright-free music so that YouTube can leave me alone. This deck be giving all of the business. That's why I be putting this deck up, and then every once in a while I be like, ooh, I need to pull out my Tea Leaves Oracle. Cause this deck is just, it really just be going in. Like, I just don't be understanding why it feels the need to do that. Like, what other oracle do I want to use? I guess I'll use my 11 Moons oracle. Might as well. Might as well. Rude. All these blue moons, I'm liking it. It's giving very much Piscean energy. It's giving healing. It's giving psychic awareness. It's giving spiritual depth. It's giving emotional intimacy, honey. It's giving what it's supposed to be. Give it. Okay. This is what I like to see. All right, and then y'all know we gotta pull a postcard from Spirit, and that will take us on home. Ma'am, how you just gonna interrupt my video like this? This is advertisement. Advertisement. Ain't nobody tell y'all to be advertising Chrome in my stuff. Anywho, which of my dreams or ideals regarding love is demanding my attention? First of all, you can't pray and worry. Okay, if you're asking that Spirit bring you somebody to love you, somebody to understand you, somebody who's gonna be loyal, somebody who can be accepting, someone who's willing to be to allow you to be liberated in love, someone who's basically gonna love you to life. When people start coming into your life, you can't immediately assume for the worst and be like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay, that ideal of I want love, but I don't want to be hurt, you got to let it go. Because at the end of the day, sometimes the hurt that you go through causes you to get to a deeper level of love that you never even knew. If I hadn't had some of my past experiences, I wouldn't be able to love my wife the way that I do, nor would I be able to be receptive to the love that she gives. And it just is what it is. And we also have been through our own things together as a couple. You know what I'm saying? So that brought us closer together. And it's not like we have like some type of struggle love situation, but relationships have their ups and downs, and you can't ask for longevity and not be willing to weather the storm. Okay. Second thing, you need to be mature. Okay, this card says dealings with older women, but I feel like it's more about maturity. It's more about stepping into your own space as the maiden or I'm sorry, the mother, because you remember when I talked to you guys about the maiden mother and the crone. So most of us are either past 30 or on our way to 30, real close by, right? With that being said, we are kind of all in this mother phase, and we need to move with more maturity, more wisdom. When you know better, you do better. So that whole thing of, if you go low, I'm going to hell, when it comes to your relationships, you need to throw that out the window. That whole thing of tit for tat, you need to throw that out the window. That whole thing of, I'm just gonna treat you with the same energy that you treat me, you gotta put that out the window. And I'm not saying let people run all over you. Just separate yourself from situations where people are treating you like that, and find some situations that you can actually be of pure heart in. Okay, so that whole ideal of waiting for the potential of something when the reality is showing itself right to you, you gotta let that go. All right, and then lastly, we got this Eight of Wands. Okay, stop thinking that you just gonna meet somebody, y'all are gonna fall in love, and everything, y'all just gonna ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after. Love just doesn't work like that. You do meet someone, you talk for some time, you do fall in love, but you just don't ride into the sunset and you live happily ever after. Things happen in between that. You know, you have your ups and downs. You have to get to know each other. You got to learn how to balance out your differences. It's not just like, it just doesn't work like that. And when it does work like that, you end up having to go back and deal with shit that you didn't deal with at the beginning of the relationship. And it's just, you're going to have to face it one way or another. So stop thinking that, you know, you're just going to meet the person and things are just going to move full speed ahead and everything's going to be fine. Like, no. These are the dreams that are demanding your attention. Okay? Also, when you feel drawn to someone or connected to someone and things are moving fast, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just be yourself, genuinely and wholeheartedly, the way you would even if you had known them for 9 months. Okay? And require the same of them. Where have you been limiting yourself and your potential in love and relationships? We got the Queen of Swords. It says Mother of Swords, but it's the same thing, Queen of Swords. This is, you haven't been allowing yourself to be as emotionally available as you should be. You always think you're right. And you have an issue with taking criticism. Okay, that's where you've been limiting yourself. You also have been caught up in dreams that are no longer serving you, in illusions that really have nothing to do with the person that you are today, but have to do with the person that you used to be. And you're looking at situations that you shouldn't be looking at with rose-colored lenses, and the practical situations that you should be considering, you're throwing out the window. That's another way that you've been limiting yourself. Also, whenever you get caught up in your own head and you go into these periods where you feel like there's this heaviness and this imposter syndrome and just this energy of this weight on your shoulders, depression, anxiety, you just shut down. And then you go into that Queen of Swords mode. And that is another thing that is limiting you and your potential when it comes to relationships. I hope that makes sense. Y'all let me know in the comments when y'all watch this if that makes sense. What emotional boundaries do you need to build and maintain? You've got the Ace of Wands. So first of all, you need to always know and understand that things are always changing. And just because something was okay yesterday, that doesn't mean that it's going to be okay today. Just because I can't think of a way to say it and I don't want to say so I'm gonna just leave that right there for now. But you also have his said. So just because I'm nice, that doesn't mean that I won't fuck all this shit up. There's a divine love and mercy that comes with being in love and embracing love. However, at the end of the day, you can't do that at a detriment to yourself. Okay? And that's the boundary that you need to maintain. You also need to let people know, listen, when I'm doing well and I'm getting good news and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for me, and I'm elevating, don't be trying to rain on my parade. If you're not going to be supportive, if you're not going to be a part of my solution, then you are definitely bringing in a problem. And you got to stand on that. You really have to stand on that. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's real. You know, because a real person who really loves you and cares about you, or even if they don't love you yet, if they really want to be with you, they're going to try to help you create solutions and bring good messages and affirmation and just inspiration your way. You know what I'm saying? So don't be just allowing people to drain energy from you and gain all the benefits of being with you, but then you're not getting anything in return. That's another boundary that you need to build or maintain. How can you show all aspects of yourself more compassion? Trust in your discernment, trust in your growth, trust in your fulfillment, and the abundance and the peace and joy, tranquility, the freedom, the intellect that you've built within yourself. Trust it. Trust it. That's how you can show all aspects of yourself more compassion. Celebrate those aspects, even the ones that you don't like. Figure out a way in which that one thing that you hate about yourself actually helped you one time. Think about it. Write it down so you can have a reason to celebrate. I'll give y'all an example. I hate the fact that I always think I'm right, and I just really get extremely overwhelmed with large groups of people. I hate it. I hate it. Okay? Because I wish sometimes that I could be more social so that I could network more, or so that I could not always want to be home all the time because I don't be wanting to go out. I really wish sometimes that wasn't a thing for me, but it really is. I have social anxiety. And that's why I say so much, because I be I gotta think about what I say so I can make sure I say it in the right way. It all goes into my social anxiety. But that helps me a lot of times, because a lot of times I'll say no to go into certain places and doing certain things, and then things happen at said events that I would not have wanted to be witness to, nor that I would have wanted to be a part of. And then I'm fine. And then when it comes to always thinking I'm right, with that particular situation, it's more of something I normally be right. So even though it's annoying that I always think I'm right, the fact that I follow usually what my intuition says or what I feel like I think I know, it keeps me protected for the most part. Every once in a while it blows up in my face, but most of the time I really do be right. And I needed to stand on that boundary, or I needed to say what I said, or I needed to leave when it was time for me to, when I said it's time to go. And it saved my ass. So think about those things that you don't like about yourself. I even give y'all something else, because y'all probably like social anxiety. That's not really a thing. I even give y'all something else. I hate my big ass feet. I have big ass feet. I'm 5'3" and I wear a size 9, sometimes 9.5. Sometimes I wear a 10. It depends on the shoe. Okay? I hate my big ass feet. But when I'm in the water and the bitch is pedaling in the water trying to go somewhere, I can get there quicker. When I'm walking, I can get where I'm going a little faster because my footprint is a little longer. You know what I'm saying? So it helps me out. Also, usually people buy size 5, size 7, size 8. So when I go to buy shoes, most of the time they have my size. Even if they don't have a 9, they definitely got a 9.5 or a 10. So it benefits me. So just kind of think about some things like that as it relates to just your own personal self, not even with relationships, and that'll help you to be able to embrace some of those things, and celebrate some of those things. What is the next question? What do you need to do to better trust your intuition and discernment regarding relationships? Well, first of all, you need to be a little bit more emotionally detached. Sometimes you get too emotional and you jump to conclusions, and it puts you into a place where you are moving based on your experiences of lack over your intuition, really. And so you think that your intuition is telling you something, but it's really your ego telling you that thing. And you're not even listening to your intuition, because your intuition is telling you, don't lean into these feelings of pain, just surrender and wait until it reveals itself. And you're just going crazy because you don't trust your own discernment. So be very methodical, passionate, and insistent on trusting your own discernment. Also, like I said, emotionally detached. Be a little bit more lighthearted and carefree. Not everything is a big deal. Not everything has these deep, profound meanings that you have to really cling to and pay attention to. Trust in the balancing of your divine femininity and masculinity. And when you are doing well in your personal life, whether it's in fitness, in your career, in whatever it is that you have going on, when you're doing well personally on your own 2 feet, relationships usually go a lot smoother, and you're able to be a lot more vulnerable because you are able to see yourself and be more vulnerable with yourself and accept where you are. So you're not constantly feeling like you need to project or be in a state of defense. And that's another thing that I'm seeing as far as something that you need to do to better trust your intuition and discernment regarding relationships. Get back into improving the quality of your life personally, whether it's adding in a new fitness or spiritual routine, or whether it's taking a new class, or going out for a promotion, or starting a new side hustle or business, whatever you want to do, journaling, whatever the thing is. Just find some practices for yourself to make you feel in order, so that way you don't have to project that energy of lack and insecurity onto your partner. Okay? How can you better embrace intimacy and vulnerability? When you're emotionally unfulfilled, admit it and do things that will create a channel for new fulfillment to be able to flow through. It's very simple. That comes with cleansing. That comes with protection. And it also comes with, like I said, making sure that your cup is full. I know this says money is coming to you, but it doesn't even necessarily have to do with money. It's just money, resources, assistance, ability, skill, just everything that you need to make yourself feel fulfilled personally. And that will, again, allow you to be able to better embrace intimacy and vulnerability. So that is really an affirmation of the last question. And then we have our postcard from Spirit. It says, dearest you, do you feel like you need to do all the work and fix everything for everyone, or you might have no value? Maybe you think you need to control everything, or else nothing will get done. Be healed, be completed, etc. You may think you need to conform to what others expect of you, or choose a course of action to manipulate an outcome. But we don't think that would be a good choice. How about this? Even if it makes you temporarily uncomfortable, do something different. Set the boundary, delegate responsibility to another. Ask for your needs to be met, and when faced with an impossible situation or sticky enmeshed relationship, repeat this mantra. I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and it's not my job to cure it. I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and it's not my job to cure it. I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and it is not my job to cure it. Then carry on. Feels good, doesn't it? The best part is everything just seems to work out beautifully and honestly in the end. Loving you so, so much. Ashe. So I will leave you guys with that. I will be back here on Sunday with a few more updates as far as astrology. There's not a lot going on next week, but I do believe that Mars and Mercury are moving, and so I'm going to talk to you guys about that. and how it will affect you. Until then, I hope you lovies have a good weekend, and I will see y'all next week.